This is Grant speaking. So standing here right behind me is a monument to the Pendleton Historical Museum. This is engraved right next to the museum, and it says, near the spot, the first white child was born in Madison County in 1820. First marriage took place in 1821, first courthouse and jail erected in 1823. 3 men tried and hanged, and they were hung here in 1825. Were first whites ever executed in Indiana for killing Indians. Woolen, flour, and sawmills erected here in 1825, same year. Erected in 1966 by the Pendleton Lions Club. Fred Douglass was assaulted by a mob in 1833 for speaking in favor of the abolition of slavery. Stone was taken from these quarries for culverts on the National Road lumber. When lumber was sawed, yes, the lumber was sawed here, that's right, for the first courthouse in Indianapolis. Pendleton incorporated in 1854. In the 1854 Falls Park. That's right. Falls Park acquired by the town of Pendleton in 1920. All right, that's all you needed to see and hear. I've already read this in great. I hope you all enjoyed this. All right, we're live. So right now, we're standing near to the Pendleton Falls. We're going to check out that next. And right next to us, we got some cute ducks. Cute ducks waddling next to us. Man, for the first time in our lives, we never got close to these cute little quackers.
Let's check out the falls.
And we're going to be checking out the waterfall and the rocks.
And there's some friendly neighbors there crossing through.
And there's some people walking around here and there.
Hi.
You guys can really hear me. We're right next to the falls. So this is the waterfall right there, and the big waterfall back there. I'm just trying my best not to fall into the water by accident. This is really like a nice scenic photo. A nice, just for some nice scenic water photos. You can really hear me, guys. I hope you can. That waterfall is like, wow. Feels like you're hearing some thundering water rushing by. I can see some wood drifting in the water over there. And there's the ducks, probably the same old ducks that we've been counting. There's them swimming in the water over there. And I can see a goose over there, next to that little island. Now this is what you call some beautiful scenery here. Alright, so next to me are the smaller falls right there. So they're not really as loud as the bigger ones over there. So, and here And here's some steps down there, so I don't think you can swim in there. Pretty quite dangerous because the sign explains it reads danger. Hazardous recirculating flows below this dam will trap and drown the victim. So that looks like it's really dangerous, and it's not a good place to be in for swimming. So you might as well be careful there. Okay, so next, we're standing next to this Veterans War Memorial here that I'm standing right next to. This memorial reads, "This memorial stands in honor to all of our veterans who sacrificed in struggles for freedoms too dear to risk losing, and to with veterans who survived the horrors of war and wounds of such struggles. May all who will leave this spot go forward with a resolve to keep this patriotic spirit of these veterans alive and well. And I salute to them all for their service." Next stop, we just made it to this lighthouse area right there where this little pond is. And we've got some more ducky friends over there right next to us. 2 male ducks and a female just quacking away and swimming in the water. And right next to us right there are just a group of geese. Well, they don't seem to be bothered by our presence, although they made way for us. So this is our next beautiful spot for some photography and some recording. Right next where I'm standing here is a monument of an old Civil War era cannon, or it's just from the Revolutionary War, where we fought against the British forces and we won. So that's a really cool looking monumental look of a cannon. Although it's not really a real cannon. Just don't want to mix my words up with that. So it's just a statue of a cannon that looks like a real cannon. It's really nice, pretty cool. It does look like a pirate's cannon, if you didn't know. Look at the babies, like baby geese.
Got to be careful.
Yeah, because if we get too close to them, they will attack us. But these chicks are just so cute. All right, here it comes. Here comes the train. Ooh, they're hauling tail here. Those are CN engines.